What is up, SmackNPie here. Welcome back to another Dark Deception video. I promised y'all yesterday that I'm gonna find a way, any way, to make this video, and here we are with Dark Deception Chapter 4 video. Today we're gonna do first of many videos coming on the channel for Dark Deception. As you know, 6th episode of Vincent Living's live stream happened and a lot of good stuff happened over there. We got the nurses stuff, all of them goodies, so you know what, without wasting any more time, let us begin. Actually, before we begin, this video is all the new nurses update that we've learned from 6th episode of the live stream, so you know what, now let's begin. At 35 minutes 16 seconds, someone asked, how do you escape nurses since they are so fast? Vincent Living has actually responded to it in a very interesting way. Now we know, spoilers alert, telekinesis is the next power for the nurses level 6 that we will unlock for the hospital. We also learned that nurses can turn invisible, they throw pills at you, and by using their heelys they're actually quite fast. So how do you escape them when they have so many abilities? Well, Vincent Living has responded to that by saying that be wise with your power, be smart with the when and how you're gonna use the powers. Y'all remember in Crazy Carnival, the cars and the clowns, when they get close to you, can use the primal fear and get as many as you can in one area and then use your power and then disappear. That's gonna be something like that with nurses. Reserve your powers and use them only when necessary. This is a bad idea for S-rank people, but you wanna beat the level first before you think about the S-rank. At 35 minutes 55 seconds, someone asked, are nurses similar to ninjas in terms of their abilities and skills? Well, this is kinda connects with the first question as well. He responded with some elements too. Ninjas are in nurses, since nurses are kind of like acrobatic. Now, if you don't know what that means, like imagine a ninja. I don't know if you've ever seen ninja. I'm gonna give you a really good example. League of Assassins from Batman. If you've ever seen Batman Begins or any animated movie or even played a game, you may know that League of Assassins has these ninjas and they throw these objects. The reason I'm saying objects because you can replace that with pills. Nurses can also turn invisible and ninjas can also turn invisible, not as in literally like in supernatural way, but like they use their surroundings to their advantage to hide and become invisible. But nurses can literally turn invisible. So in a way, yes, nurses are similar to ninjas, but not that much. At 40 minutes 3 seconds, someone asked, does Reaper nurses have speed boost? Vincent Living responded with, no, they do not have speed boost. Only Lucky the Rabbit has speed boost, but that does not mean that Reaper nurses aren't gonna be fast. Remember, they have heelys. They can do whatever they want with them heelys. At 40 minutes 15 seconds, this one is my favorite question of all. Someone asked about hallucinations in the hospital level. Since y'all know, I go around in my nurses video and I always talk about how the hospital level is perfect for something like that, for Doug and for Malik to start showing that there is more to lose from now on. Vincent Living responded with, no, there will be no hallucinations, no such thing as tripping or my mind is seeing some other things. It's basically, in his words, it's what you see, what you get, but what you get is unusual. But he did say that it will include something, just not hallucination, so I'm really hoping for that show me who you really are flashback or whatever level to be after this one before we get to the ballroom. I'm really hoping, fingers crossed, but let's see what happens. Then 47 minutes 45 seconds, somebody asked about nurses flirting with Doug Hauser. He responded with, they will a little bit because they represent something, and he used an example of Gold Watchers, and that is a perfect example. He said just like Gold Watchers represent something in their level, nurses here will represent something in this level. If you don't know what Gold Watchers represented in their level, it was greed. Here it will be lust. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, connecting the dots, nurses are flirting. You can see in the voice reveal lust. Y'all remember the letter, the police report, and that article. I'm connecting the dots out here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm connecting the dots for y'all. Then at 50 minutes for 24 seconds, and that is a good question, that can we use telepathy to detect invisible nurses, since y'all know nurses can turn invisible? He responded with, maybe. So here's my take on this situation. I believe it's not gonna be your usual telepathy where they turn invisible and you can quickly use telepathy and you can see where they are, if they're coming from behind or not. I believe if you have them in sight and they turn invisible in front of you, then you use telepathy, you can see them. There's another way we can look at it. Just before them turning invisible, you use telepathy, you see the outline, and then they quickly turn invisible. Then you see them moving around, because that's how you get around the game's code. I think they're gonna fix this, but that's just my take. I will personally try this, assuming and hoping that I don't die before that. Then at 15 minutes 42 seconds, someone asked about the pill's size. Yes, there are people out there that are asking for heights and size. But it's a good question. They asked, what are the pill size? Well, he said that it's comparable to Dr. Mario's pill. Now, Dr. Mario, it is an interesting case because Dr. Mario's height is nowhere near Nurse's. And when you compare his pill to Nurse's pill, I'm just gonna say it's gonna be like a normal pill, just a little bit buffed so that player can see. There's no need to make a big deal out of a pill. Come on, y'all. Then at 1 hour 4 minutes 6 seconds, someone asked about the frenzy mode for Nurses. We learned that it'll be a different costume, just like we've seen with the Gold Watchers, Gremlin Clowns. However, the big reveal is that their mask won't come off. So if y'all were expecting them to reveal their true face in frenzy mode, nah. Then at 1 hour 10 minutes 51 seconds, someone asked about the Nurses icon. Y'all know the current Nurses icon is Matron related, and we've learned a long time ago that the new icon will be related to Reaper Nurses. As you know, Devin the Adventurer, he posts great icons on his Twitter. He updates them regularly, and I've seen a couple of them, and I've used actually a bunch of them on the videos, so shout out to you. However, Vincent Living's denied. He said he hasn't seen the fan-made icons. He did give us a clue that the new icon will be related to Reaper Nurse, not Matron. Then at 1 hour 23 minutes 46 seconds, someone asked, are Nurses inspired by Harley Quinn? As you know, Tara Strong did the voice for Harley Quinn and for the Nurses as well. It is actually good in my personal opinion. I love Harley Quinn. She's one of my favorite villains / anti-hero because she's not technically a villain. It's just that we watched Tara Strong do Harley so much so, just like Kevin doing Batman, we can't see anyone else reprising that role. So whenever we hear their voice, we already assume that, yep, it's Harley Quinn, it's Batman. I can't hear Kevin's own voice because whenever Kevin speaks, I hear Batman. Same goes for Tara. Whenever I hear Tara, it's Harley Quinn. So that's the same for pretty much everyone who has seen those shows and those movies and animated ones as well. Now finally we're gonna get to the real stuff, the one that y'all have been waiting for me to talk about, and that is 16 minutes 31 seconds. Vincent Livings revealed a giant thing accidentally. When somebody asked about, will there be multiple nurses, will there be multiple matrons, he didn't realize that he said that he's not gonna reveal the boss in last live stream, but here he accidentally did, because at 16 minutes 31 seconds he revealed that Matron is the boss for the hospital level. I've seen a lot of people saying that he said Matron is a boss of the level. Relax, he didn't mean that, alright? There's nothing deep to read. If there was, we would have seen it. It would have been on his face, but it wasn't. He said clearly the Matron is the boss. She's the boss of the hospital level. But if I'm wrong, I will personally apologize. There will be no multiple Matrons, so we can throw the whole theory of Matron chasing us during the Reaper Nurses scouting area. We can throw that out of the way. Now we need to start a new theory, and we need to prepare our butts for this one, because Matron, she's the boss. We're done. How is that gonna play out? I have no idea. I have no clue. She got a big syringe. Her weight is so much that that stool, or whatever you want to call it, is about to break. I'm not fat shaming. It's creepy, because if that breaks, I think that that's the only thing that's keeping her from going crazy. And if that breaks, we're done. But that was my 2 cents on the entire situation related to Nurses, Matron. Now we're gonna go to Joy Joy Gang, then Barely Buried, then console questions, and then mobile questions as we move forward until we get some big news. So be patient, sit tight, and we're gonna get to October 16th for Monsters and Mortals, which is happening. It's an official release date, and don't expect Chapter 4 to be out before Monsters and Mortals at this point. I'm telling you, I have some news on that as well. Now, go back and watch these two.